Shalom, shalom, Israel. I'm Brother Benaiah.
Brother Ananias.
Brother
Brother Ezekiel,
Cool.
Brother
Right.
Ezekiel.
And we are A.O.I coming back to you with another Friday night live Sabbath class, right? We do this every Friday night, Lord's will at 7:30, 7:35. You know, so we happy that you tuned on tonight. And Lord's will, you continue to get tuned, to be tuned in and continue to be edified, Lord's will. Right. But tonight's topic is Lucifer and the fallen angels from heaven to hell. Right. So we're going to discuss a few different things tonight. You know, Lord will to edify our people more about who Lucifer is, who Satan is, who Babylon is, right? And uh, you know, edify them on all these different things. Because a lot of us we coming out of Christianity, and we still some of us still in different doctrines, but we have to fall, we got to come all the way and flee out of Babylon, you know because Babylon gonna try to run and get you, right? But let me get Second Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 5. Right, Second Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 5. Right, because we got to teach this word, and we got to teach the true word of God.
All right. The book of Second Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringeth into captivity every thought to the obedience
It
of
says,
Christ.
casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God. So we're gonna bring out the things that exalt itself against the knowledge of God, and we're gonna take that thing down.
That's right.
Right, we're gonna spiritually chop and beat it down to pebbles, man. All religions, all vain imaginations, we're gonna beat it down with the words of God, man. Right, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse number 12. Right, Isaiah chapter 14 and verse number 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 12. How art how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
So a lot of times when you see this scripture right here, a lot of people understand this as there was a big battle in heaven, right? And there was war going on. You know, you had Satan putting on the buckler. He had him and his minions shooting arrows in the air, darkening in the sky. With catapults of flame and fire, tossing it at the Most High. You know, so you have this thing where they say, well, Satan got jealous of the Most High because he wanted to be God. You know, and they depict them fighting. It's almost like Greek mythology, right? When they have the Titans versus Zeus and all of these different characters like that. But these are the things that we're gonna bring out tonight. So, right, keep reading on to verse 13.
Okay. Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Right. So he said that pretty much he would be like God. So let's go to the book of Lamentation, chapter 2 and verse 1. Right. So I got a couple of things, a few things I want people to write down, right? So in the scriptures, right, there's no actual physical place called hell. You know, there's no actual physical place where a man is tormenting you and laughing at you while you burning up in fire, you know, and your soul is just swimming in lava and you backpedaling and blowing your breath in the lava, and bubbles coming up. So that's not a thing. So the different stages of heaven, you got four heavens, right? And you have three hells. So the four heavens are right. So you look at heaven being an estate, like a high estate. You have heaven on earth, right? Just like the so-called white man now, he's living in heaven on earth, right? Being in the high estate. The second one is heaven where the sky is, right? Sometimes the Lord refers to the skies as the heaven, right? That's where the birds dwell. Then you have the kingdom of heaven, right? That's what's gonna we're gonna future in the future we will inherit that if it be the Lord's will. And you have the third heaven where the Most High God dwells at, right? He dwells outside of time, outside of space, outside of what we call reality, you know. Now talking about hell, right? In hell, you have a lower state, right? Just like in heaven, that's a higher state. In hell, you can have a lower state, right? Now, also, hell can be underground. Not necessarily saying uh hell is like I say under hot lava, you know, and you boiling like you skipping on rocks trying to skip the hot lava, like you used to skip around the house on your pillows saying the floor was hot lava. That's not a thing, right? And then you have hell fire, which is the Lord is going to destroy this place with hell fire, right? But let's go to Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 1.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 1. How had the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger.
So the Lord said he cast down from heaven unto earth the beauty of Israel, right? So this is an example showing you of the estate. So that's what we're talking about right now, the estate, right, part of heaven, right? So the Lord said he cast them down from heaven, right? Meaning they were at a higher state and then he brought them down to a lower state. So he cast them down to the ground, right? Which will represent the Lord casting us from rulership to being you know, what do you call it, peasants or
Servitude.
servants, right? So the Lord cast us down from heaven to earth. So right there, they're showing you that this is not a literal heaven where we are up there fighting the Most High and He cast us down. That's not what's going on, right? Because the last time I checked, Enoch and Elijah, they was the only ones that got beamed up into heaven, you know. So how is Israel? How's the whole body of Israel cast down to earth? You know, you can't get that thing with what they try to teach. Keep reading on verse 2.
Verse 2. Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 2. The Lord hath swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob, and have not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath and strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof.
So he polluted the kingdom. That's where they fell from. He polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. Now they went from a higher state to a lower state. Now let's go to the book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 17. All right. Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 17.
Book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 17. Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow upon Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights.
Right, keep reading.
Chapter 2, verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly, and said,
Is that Jonah 1 and verse 17?
Jonah 1 and 17.
Yes, sir.
Jonah 1 and 17. 1 and 17. Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow.
Is that where you started at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1 and
All
17.
right. Let's go down to verse chapter 2.
Uh-huh. Chapter 2, verse 1. Chapter 2, verse 1.
Yeah.
Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly, verse 2, and said, I cried by reason of mine addiction unto the Lord, and heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice.
So, hey, Jonah said he cried out of the belly of hell, man. Right. So, what is that? So, you saying Jonah was under the earth crying out to God in hot lava? No, that's not true. He said he cried out the belly of hell, meaning he was in a lower state. Jonah
Uh,
was in the belly of a fish. Just imagine the things that was going on inside the belly, man. Probably had stomach acid floating next to him, you know, dead fish, all kind of different abominations floating to him. Hey, he was at a lower state, man.
Hey, brother, just like they say, hell is a condition. He was in a bad condition at that point in time.
Right, right. He was in a bad condition, like the brother bringing up, right? That lower state,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, right, just showing, just giving another example. Give me Psalms chapter 139 and verse 8, right? Psalms 139 and verse 8, and we're dealing with the higher state and lower state right now. Now, we're not really gonna go into where the Most High dwells, different things of that nature. We'll say that for another video, right?
Psalms 139, verse 8, and it reads, If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there.
So the Lord dwells in the third heaven, right? But King David said, "If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there." Meaning, if he was in a higher state, right, or in a lower state, he's gonna be there, right? He's gonna be there because the Lord, his eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. So the Lord is everywhere, you know. But the Lord actually dwells in the third heaven, right? Up there, uh, what they call beyond space. What they look at black holes and they say the galaxy and different things of that nature. That's where the Most High God dwells, right? Now let me get the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 6. So we're dealing with Lucifer falling from heaven, all right? So they say Lucifer fell from heaven. They say Lucifer is Satan. But I'm gonna show a definition real quick, right? Show a quick little definition. And let's see. First of all, I'm gonna get something from the History Channel. All right. All right. This is on the History Channel talking about Lucifer. Right. It says many Christians believe the devil was once a beautiful angel named Lucifer who defied God and fell from grace. This assumption that he is a fallen angel is often the the book of Isaiah in the Bible, which says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" Right. So this is an assumption that Christians make. Right. You see this picture right here. This looks like this might be Satan right here. Right, and you got him ruling over all the other evil angels. Right, and they look like they're underground with lava, and fire. But these things are not biblical. These things are made up, and they're a figment of somebody else's imagination, right? So now, this is the actual definition of Lucifer, right, in the Blue Letter Bible, right? So Lucifer, it means light bearer, right? Light bearer, right? So that's what it actually means. That's the actual definition of the word Lucifer, light bearer, right? And we're going to explain that even more as we go on, but I just kind of wanted to show that definition. So let me get that in Colossians chapter 1 and verse 6.
The book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 6, which is come unto you as it is in all the world, and bringing forth fruit as it doeth also in you, since the day ye heard of it,
Right?
and knew the grace of God in truth.
Let's see. That might be the wrong one. Let me see.
You mean 16?
Is it 16 for by him all things created?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, let me get that.
Verse 16. For by him were all things created, they are in heaven and they are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions, or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
Right? So all things were created by him and for him, right? The principalities that was created by the Most High God. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 16 and verse number 27. Right? So all things were created by the Most High. When you look at the water, the birds, right? the grass that you see around, the trees, the insects that you see on the ground. Hey, these things were created by the Most High God. Even the germs that they show you on a microscope, hey, the Lord created all these different things. You know, read what you got when you get
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 16, verse 7.
27.
Was how many with them?
27.
Okay. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 16, verse 27. He garnishes works forever, and in his hand are the chief of them unto all generations. They neither labor nor are weary, nor cease from their works. You want me to keep going?
Yes, sir.
None of them hindereth another, and they shall never disobey his word.
Meaning, hey, all the things that the Lord created will never disobey his word. Everything goes according to the Most High. So if nothing disobeys his word and everything that he created was created by him and for him, how did the spiritual demon Satan or the angel Satan fight against the Most High and he got cast down from earth? No, Satan actually works for the Most High. You know, Satan actually works for the Most High. The Lord created good and evil. Right? Give me Psalms chapter 103 and verse number 20. Right? Psalms chapter 103 and verse 20. So all things come from the Most High. And we have to understand that in this truth. Right? Psalms 103 and verse 20.
The book of Psalms 103 and verse 20. Blessed be the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word.
Now, Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, he is an angel, right? The word angel, it literally means messenger. So Satan is an angel, but it says, bless the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Hearkening unto the voice of his word, man. You know? So everything on this earth listens to the Most High, right? Give me the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9 and verse number 18. Second Ezra 9 and verse 18. So all angels, right, whether it be on the right hand or the left hand side, they listen to the Most High.
That's right.
And they don't go outside his commandment. So whatever the Lord wants, hey, that's where it's going to be declared on the earth.
Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse what?
18. The book.
Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 18. And now, when I prepared the world which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me.
Keep reading.
Verse 19. For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed and by a law which is unsearchable, rid themselves.
Right. So in verse 18, it said, and now when I prepared the world which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. So before everything was here, right, when the Lord started creating things, no man spake against him, man. So that Lucifer lie that he was fighting the Most High, that's a bold-faced lie. Lucifer never went against the Most High, man. Lucifer is actually, or I mean, Satan is actually on fire for the Lord, really. Satan takes all the commandments of the Lord and he executes, man. So Satan is on fire for the Lord, just like the angels that dwell in heaven, they're on fire for the Lord as well. You know.
Yeah.
So let's get the book of Genesis chapter 6 and verse number 4. So now we're going to kind of deal with, you know, the giants, right? Slightly kind of go into that. We're not going to go all the way into it, right? But we'll kind of scratch the surface and get right back to the topic, right? So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them.
Right? So it says, when men began to multiply on the earth, right, on the face of the earth, daughters were born unto them. And keep reading.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they looked, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Now these daughters of men, these are the other nations, right? These are the other nations that dwell on the earth. Anybody outside of the children of Israel. And the sons of God, these are the actual Israelites. It's not talking about the angels right here in this context, right? It's not talking about that. But we're going to find out as we keep reading. Keep reading.
And the Lord said, my spirit should not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Right? Read.
There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare them, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
Men of renown. That's what it's talking about. It says there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, right? So the sons of God, these are the children of Israel, and they came into the daughters of men, meaning they were mixing and mingling, right? And they bear them children, and they bear children to them, right? The same became mighty men were of old, men of renown. And it says mighty men, right? Not mutant men. These are mighty men, men of renown, men of who were well known, just like Moses, right? Just like King David, just like all our righteous forefathers who are mighty men that you see written in the scripture, right? These are mighty men that were on the earth, and they were men of renown. Let's get the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 13. Right? Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 13. Right? And this will kind of pick up speed in a little bit. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 13.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 13. And it reads, till we all come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ.
Right, right. Because it says, till we all come in the unity of faith and the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man. So, hey, that tell you right there, we supposed to be trying to be striving to be perfect. Right? It says, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. Not literally how tall he is, but to his spiritual level, right? Or his spiritual understanding, rather. Right. So that's what we're supposed to be striving into. Because Yahweh Shah, he was perfect upon the earth. So now we're supposed to be striving to be perfect, right? Day in and day out, keeping these commandments. Right. So now go to the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 19. Right. Book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 19. And we gonna touch on this men of renown, right? Because these were giants in the earth. Just like in the earth, in this world, they say, man, this is big, man. This is a big opportunity. Right? If you used to listen to Lil Wayne, back in the day, and he would say colossal all the time. Like it's huge. These are just words that magnify a person or a situation to put it on a higher estate, well, put it on was good word for that. To set it on high, right? Keep reading. Read on that, bro.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 13. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. Oh,
so 19, I believe, one.
you said 19?
Yeah, where were you at?
I was on 13, 3 and 13.
No, it was 19, brother.
I'm sorry. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 and verse 19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
So the scripture is showing you, it says many are in high place and of renown. So when you're in a high place, right, you pretty much like a man of renown, right? Even Babylon the Great, even America have men of renown, right? They look at we don't look at them as that, but they have Sleepy Joe, they got Trump, they got Bush. These are actual men of renown. These are protected men um, by the CIA, by the FBI, right? And they are actual leaders of this society. They make calls, they make rules and regulations. Well, actually, they're the puppets, and they write the rules and regulations, but they have somebody else controlling them, right? But let's go to the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Yeah, just like you were saying though, with that, say they in a high place, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. They got the mysteries of the Bible actually revealed to the meek, to the obedient of the Most High. But these particular individuals, they have secrets revealed to them, or secret plots and wicked inventions. You know what I'm saying? Different things that go on that we have no knowledge of.
God.
Right, right.
You said second Ezra.
Second,
Go ahead, King.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 1. And he said unto me in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew.
We're gonna read the verse 6, brother.
Yes, sir. Before it thundered and lightning, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot, and the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned. Before they were sealed, they have gathered faith for a treasure. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through me none other. And through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other.
So the Lord said, and by him they should be ended and none other, right? Meaning the Lord curated all things like we stated before, right? And it says, or in verse 4, or ever the height of the air were lifted up, before the measure of the firmament were named, or the chimneys of Zion were hot. So the Lord, hey, he telling you, like before everything even got here, he had created all things, right? In verse 6, it says, then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. So like even when people die, right? You don't it's not the Satan that's ended you, right? It's really the most high giving him orders to end you, right? Just like now, like say if they have contract assassins, right? They have contract assassins. Say they get jammed up and they get caught. The guy who sent out that hit, he's gonna go down for real. He's gonna be the main one to go down because he's the one who had somebody killed. You know, so these are things that the Lord does, and He sends messages through Satan, and He sends His duties through Satan as well. Right? Give me Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7, because we kind of stopped thinking that, hey, it's just Satan. You still listening to Kurt Franklin stumping on the ground, thinking you stumping somebody up, right? That's not, that's not biblical. The
Hey,
Lord didn't say stump on the ground and you be stumping Satan, right? Satan, he jumps. Hey, can you mute your mic? Thank you, thank you. But Satan, he jumps in and out of different people. He's the spiritual demon Satan, right? Can you read?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
So I, the Lord, do all these things, right? So Satan, now we're gonna kind of touch on him a little bit, right? So Satan is a pretty much he has three jobs, right? You can write this down. He is the chief angel, right? He is the tempter, and he is the accuser, right? So yes, he is an angel. He is a messenger, and he is the chief angel on the left hand side, right? To do the work of the Lord. And he is the tempter. He's here to tempt you, you know, to tempt you to go into sin, to tempt you to log into pornography, to tempt you to go and eat pork, to tempt you to go and freak off in the night with another female, right? To tempt you to sleep with another man, to have a damn work boo. Hey, these things are the what the devil does to tempt you. You know, he is the tempter and he is the accuser, meaning he will accuse you. He reports to the Most High, right, and reports to him and say, hey, Lord, look, I'm doing a good job. Hey, I got him so and so to fall into sin. Hey, now you kill him. He's the accuser, right? That's what the spiritual demon is set up for, right? Give me the book of Revelation, chapter 2. Well, we'll go to book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 6. Right? Job, chapter 1 and verse 6. So the spiritual demon Satan, he is set up by the Most High, and he actually works for the Most High. But now we're going to prove that he actually works for him. So if you didn't know that before tonight, now you're going to find out, hey, Satan is just not, he don't have his own will, right? He does the will of the Lord.
Right.
Book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
Right.
Verse 7.
So that's all I'm dealing with right here. So now it says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. Right. So these are the actual angels. Right. And then it says, and Satan came also. So this is the spiritual demon Satan, you know. So you have the actual angels on the right hand side that report to the Lord, and you have Satan on the left hand side that reports to the Lord. So this is just another day that they came to report to the Lord, because they report to him every day, right? You have Satan jumping on people all the time, every day, right? Satan said, I've been walking to and fro going to the earth, right? So let's keep reading on that, verse 7.
Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it.
Walking up and down in it. And he didn't say walking all the way around, you know, for you globe earthers, right? Keep reading.
Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fears God and eschews evil?
Now the Lord asked him, right? So why didn't they get the fighting right there? If Satan already got kicked out of the land, right, or out of heaven, right? Because that would make that your enemy. If you already had fought a war, that would make that your enemy. So why did they just break out and Satan threw a blow at the Most High, and he kind of chin checked him? You know that ain't happening, right? Keep reading, verse 9.
Verse 9. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for not? Verse 10. Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he has on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
Now, Job, he was a very wealthy and rich man. He had cattle, he had land. It said his substance is increased in the land, meaning he was very wealthy, you know. So it says, keep reading verse 11.
Verse 11. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
And Satan said, hey, I'm going to do my job. I'm on fire, right? I'm going to make him curse you to your face, right? You asked me to do something, hey, I'm going to do it to the best. Hey, matter of fact, I'm going to make it happen, you know. Anything the Lord wants Satan to do, he's going to make it happen, you know. Because guess what? He is on fire for the Lord. Just like the angels, they on fire for the Lord. Just like the spiritual demon Satan, he's sent down to tempt you, to accuse you. But guess what? The angels on the right-hand side, right there, hey, they're here to protect you, you know, to protect you from the evil thoughts, protect you from all the wickedness and chaos around here, protect you from stray bullets, to protect you from having a wreck when you go home, to protect you from damn fornication and going off and leaving, going back into the world, man. So these things are here to help you, right? Uh, those spiritual, those angels are there to help you and protect you, you know. So like I said, these Satan, he is the chief angel of on the left hand side. I mean, he is over the demons and devils that hop into people. You have many different demons and devils, right, that hop into people and they continue to tempt that person, right, telling you to turn your back on the Lord, to curse God into his face, you know, go celebrate your birthday. Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with Christmas. These are actual demons that are playing on your mind, telling you that these things are okay, right? But the Lord said he had made man upright, man, right? So the Lord made man upright, meaning, a man, his spirit, his is upright as far as the Israelites. Our spirits are upright, but we have demons and devils on us that actually try to get us to go contrary to God. See what I'm saying? Just like you had King David and you had Saul. This is why King David, he was spiritual enough to know that Saul, really, that wasn't Saul, right? That was an evil demon that was on Saul that wanted him to kill him, you know. But David understood that thing. So we have to understand that these are just evil demons on our people. Even when we go out today and teach the word, it's not really that they don't want to come into the truth. They just have so many devils on their mind and deception and lies, and Satan is literally right behind them. Right? That's why the Lord said, when the word go out, Satan come immediately, man. Right? So give me the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse number 9, right? Showing you who Satan is. Now we are the sons of God, right? And we are physically on this earth, right? And you have Satan, right? The spiritual demon Satan, and he has sons too as well, if you want to use that. Right. So now these sons, right? These people, these would be the children of Edom, right? Give me Revelation 2 and verse 9.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and thy tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Right? They are the synagogue of Satan. They are the physical representation of Satan, right? Satan is a spiritual demon, and his main minions, the main wicked people, is Esau. These are the so-called Jewish people. These are your so-called Caucasians that hug and kiss you at work, all right? That give you gift cards at work, put gas in your car, and give you free food at your job, and who you say you love. That's the spiritual demon. Satan is really working on Esau, you know. Right. So let me keep reading verse 10.
Verse 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulations 10 days.
So this is talking about. Oh, okay. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Okay. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right? So be faithful unto death, and he will give us a crown of life. But the key thing I wanted to point out here is, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So it's not going to be the spiritual demons or the Satan that's casting us into prison. Satan is going to hop on these damn evil demons. I mean these devils, right? That's why we call the so-called white man the devil that the Bible speak of,
That's
right?
right.
He's Satan. He takes on the physical representation of him, right? He's the one who's putting in the most work for Satan. He lets Satan talk to him and whisper him to him in the bed, man, and he love it, right? So hey, it says the devil will cast some of you into prison. So that's not going to be an actual spirit that come and cast you into an iron gate, and he shut it up, and you don't even know where he is. You looking around, and you think Casper the ghost and shut you up in there. Now the devil, right, who is the Edomites, they're going to be the ones doing that when times of tribulation come, right? So we have to be preparing our minds for these tribulations to come, you know, because we're going to be tempted, right? We're going to be tempted to go against the Most High. We're going to be accused, right? So these are the things that that Esau does to represent Satan, and we see Satan working through him, just like we see the Most High working through the brothers that are in Israel in all camps, man. Right? That's the spirit of Yahweh Shai working through those brothers to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But you
Right.
have Esau, who is the tempter, who will tempt you to go back into the world, who tell you, no, the Jews are white. You know, they give you white Jesus. They have churches set up on every corner. You know, they have pork in every neighborhood. They're there to do the physical work of the spiritual demon Satan. Just like the Most High God has his servants doing his spiritual work. You know. Now let's go Job. Let's go to Job chapter 2 and verse 1.
I wanted to bring in a precept, brother.
Go
You
ahead,
know,
King.
yeah, a lot of times, this right here, John chapter 8, verse 24. Christ was talking about the Israelites at this time, but this is twofold. And this is talking about Esau too, the Edomites. John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. So the so-called white man Edomites, they are of the father the devil, and they do the lust of the devil. That's why they bring about plagues on the earth. They kill, murder. They show pornography on every. You can't even escape the internet not one time without seeing somebody shaking their ass or somebody some homosexual type of stuff. So the white man, so-called Edomites, they are of the father the devil.
That's right, brother. That's right. That's right. And you said it. They are the father the devil. You know. So let's go to the book of Job. Job chapter 2 and verse number 2.
The book of Job, chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, How hast thou considered my soul?
Hey, where you at, brother?
Chapter 2, verse 3.
2 and start at verse 1.
All right. Job chapter 2, verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
So this was another day where they met up, right, and they had to present themselves to the Lord. Hey, Satan goes to the Lord every day to get his job, man. Don't you go to work every day and get orders from your boss? You come in, you see what the goals are for the day, what we're gonna get accomplished. So the spiritual demon Satan, he has to go to the Lord and see what his goals are, to see who he has to go and tempt, right? To see if he has to go tempt, right? He might send him out. Hey, I gotta tempt. I want you to go tempt my servant Jasmine today. I want you to go tempt my servant uh, Isaiah today. I want you to go tempt my servant today and try to get them to go off. You know, see if they will actually fall into your traps. That's why the Lord said you gotta turn your way from turn your eyes away from evil, man. You know, and you can't sit there and let Satan pull you in, because Satan gonna hop on you. That's plain. It ain't no brother on this earth that Satan is not gonna hop on. Not one. So we have to, instead of agreeing with the devil, hey, you have to rebuke the devil, man. So when Satan come to you, hey, you gotta have them scriptures ready, man. That's why you gotta have that oil, and you gotta have these precepts down pat, so you know how to fight off Satan, man. Cause Satan looking to take you out this thing, man. But let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 1. Right. So that was another day where they came to. Matter of fact, you still at Job chapter 2?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, keep reading on that, King. Verse 2.
All right.
Job chapter 2 and verse 2.
Job chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although he moveth me against him to destroy him without cause.
That's right. He was an upright man and one that eschewed evil. Right. Let me see if I can pull that definition up. The brothers got something they want to add in.
Yeah, if I could say, yeah, Job was definitely an upright man. And just like we trying to be upright like Job and the rest of the prophets at the time, you know, Job was tempted, and we're gonna get tempted. You know, like you said before, we're not gonna be exempt. You know, just because we try to keep the Lord's commandments, the Lord, you know, you're gonna be like, you know, saying, don't tempt him this time. You know, show him favor. No, we're gonna be tempted just like our forefathers were tempted. You know, Job went through that thing. All the prophets went through it, so we're gonna go through the same thing.
That's right, brother. That's right. All praise. So check this out. The word eschew, it means to deliberately avoid using, abstain from. So Job, he abstained from evil, man. He was not trying to go and look for evil, trying to see when he gonna get in the club free on Friday night, or you know, to break the Sabbath, to try to get in free before 11, and then go buy drinks in the club. The Lord, Job wasn't that type of guy, you know. So he eschewed evil. He was an upright man. So Satan is coming down to tempt this man, right? And Job was perfect. So that lets you know that the Lord, Satan is gonna come and visit every man, whether you be perfect or not, right? Keep reading on that, brother.
All right. Look at Job chapter 2, verse 3. No, verse 4.
We do, yeah, 4.
And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man have will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face.
So Satan told the Lord, that once I get done with him, he gonna curse you to your face, right? He gonna curse you to your face, meaning I'm gonna put him through something. And ultimately, he had to get those commandments from the Lord. So we got to stop thinking the Lord is all hugs and kisses and good all the time, man. Right. And sweet candy canes. The Lord ain't about that, man. The Lord is he's a man of war. The Lord is his name. So he's you got something you want to add, brother?
Okay. You know, I was thinking about, if I may say, brother.
Yes,
I was thinking about a time when, you know, when I think about Job, you know, I think about Hammer, you know, MC Hammer. And back in the day, man, you know, Hammer, he had the money. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he got successful. He started making hits. And, man, Hammer had it going on. Later on, you know, he lost everything. You know what I'm saying? And even though Hammer was a good dude in the community, as people were saying, you know, he helped a lot of people. And that's how he lost all his money. But, you know, he was always thinking God, of course, Christian, you know, mindset, you know, we think we serving the Lord, you know how we do. But, you even in his wickedness, he was serving the Lord. Meaning, in his successful way, he was thanking God or whatever. But at the same time, after all that happened, the Lord took it from him. You know what I'm saying? And he went down to nothing. And it seemed like the white man was trying to tell to me. I don't know. I always thought, I said, maybe Esau was trying to tell Hammer, hey, curse God ain't die now, man. You was always thinking God came up with these songs. I pray just to make it, not curse God and die. I'm sorry, I'm using that scenario when I think about Job. I think about people in successful, in doing careers and be doing good, and all of a sudden just fall.
Right, brother. All right, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse number 1. Let me make sure it might be Matthew or Luke. Yeah, Matthew chapter 4 and verse 1.
All right. The book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
So Jesus, he was led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil, right? Remember, we said the devil is the tempter, right? Keep reading.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward hungry.
So now he was tempted of the devil, and that's why Yahweh Shah said some demons can't leave unless you fast through prayer and fasting. So Yahweh Shah, he was fasting, man. Read.
Verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command these stones be made bread.
Command these stones be made bread. Now he's tempting them, man. Now he's trying to test the Lord. The Lord, the Lord could have did that thing. But hey, guess what? The Lord stayed in his right mind, stayed in the spirit, rather. Stayed in the spirit, and he kept doing what he had to do. Can you read?
Verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
Now he hit him with a scripture. See that? Now we got that's why we got to have our swords with us, man, and we got to have our precepts ready to slay any doctrine or any imagination that comes against us, man. So we have to be prepared for battle. You don't see them coming at the Christian pastor, right? Trying to come at them with precepts and try to get them to do different things. Hey, they coming at the Israelites, man. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up to the holy city and set of him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Hey, so now the devil hit him with a scripture. Hey, we have devils hit us with scriptures all the time, man. So-called white man, he come with a precept, talking about, hey, keep reading, right? So these devils, they know the Bible too. So the spiritual demon Satan, hey, he don't have to go to theology school. He don't have to go to damn Bible rhetoric or Bible 101. He don't have to do that. He already knows that thing, man.
That's right.
Hey, because he been studying it. He been on fire for the Lord for decades and decades, man. Right? And thousands of years. Keep reading.
Verse 7. Jesus said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Let me make sure. Okay. Verse 7. Read verse 7 again for me.
All right. The book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 7. Jesus saith unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
So, Yahweh Shah hit him back with a scripture. So all you Christians out there saying you can't, well, I don't want to debate. We pull out a certain scripture to try to battle your demons that you have on your mind, trying to come against the truth. And we're going to pull scriptures, man.
Right.
So just like Yahweh Shah did, he pulled scriptures with the devil, man. Devil, he hit him with a scripture. Hey, guess what? He hit him back with one. and confounded them. Keep reading.
Verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Right. So, and another thing, we got to stop thinking that the Lord just going to take us up to a high mountain. I mean, Satan going to take us up to a high mountain, right? Tempting us, saying we can have the world. Stop waiting on $1 billion check to come in and tempt you, and thinking that's your temptation right there. No, the Lord can tempt you with pornography, different naked women, right? The Lord can tempt you with a man with his shirt off and his six pack showing, right? The Lord can tempt you and say, "Hey, you know what? Hey, I know you're supposed to listen to your husband, but you know you got something to say too. You a real woman. You a grown woman. So the devil, Satan will tempt you like that, man. So stop thinking he just gonna come to you and offer you all the money and the whole entire world. Satan can come to you by stealing a piece of bubble gum, man. You know, next thing you know, now you steal, now you caught up in wickedness, now you go into a whole role of wickedness. Now you a wicked ball,
Mm.
you know, and now you're going downhill because the devil has a slope waiting on you to roll down. Well, you got it, King. Brother, you cool? You was about to say something?
No, I was just about to say you're right. It only take one little temptation for you to fall under. Then you fall in this big, like you said, big ball of wickedness, man. You know, sometimes, especially in the truth, you're gonna get tempted. I don't know why a lot of people think. I'm sorry, brother. I want to bring us in that, the situation. I remember first coming in and getting to understand it, and I've never been tempted like I was before at any time in my life, except when I came into the truth. So it's gonna happen, you know.
Right.
Like the scriptures say, when thou so when thou prepares to come to the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. That's gonna happen. That temptation is gonna happen, man.
Matter of fact, let's get that precept. Hold what you got, King, right there. And brother, you cool if you don't mind, give me that precept, King. The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. Right? Because the tempter, he is there to tempt you, right? And to get you to go contrary to the Lord. Just like he tried to get Job to go contrary to the Lord. Now, was Satan wrong for doing what he was doing? No, because he got the order from the Most High. So Satan, he's only doing his job, just like we're supposed to be doing our job, serving the Lord. But Satan has a job to try to get you to go contrary, right? To tempt you and see if you're gonna stick to it or not. Hey, and guess what? The Lord want to see you stick through that thing, man. But guess what? Some men or some women give in to these devices. Right? Keep reading. Reading on that.
God. Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. So the Lord said, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare. He didn't say, hey, if you are a mighty brother. He didn't say if you a brother that just you've been in this truth for 5 years. He didn't say anything like that. He said, if you want to serve me, prepare yourself for temptation. So go ahead and get prepared for temptation. These things will arise. So if you just come into the truth, you have to prepare yourself for temptation. The devil, Satan, is gonna try to tempt you in every way possible. And Satan knows you, man. Matter of fact, let's go back. Matter of fact, we're gonna drop Matthew and go back to the book of Job, right? Back to the book of Job, chapter 1, and verse number, I think it might be number, let me find it real quick. Book of Job, chapter 1, and verse 8. Start at verse 8.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil?
All right. So he escheweth evil. Keep reading.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doeth Job fear God for naught?
Now you gotta realize this conversation, right? You gotta realize this conversation. And he's saying, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? So the Lord asked him, have you considered Job? Right. Then you go back to verse number 9. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for not? So hey, Satan basically telling, yeah, I know Job, man. Yeah, I know Job. Does he fear you for not? Right? Hast thou not made a hedge about him in verse 10, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So Job knew everything that he had, right? Just like the Satan knows the new car titles that we have, the new house note that you paid off, the new boat you bought, right? The new motorcycle you bought. Hey, Satan know all that stuff, man. So Satan is there to tempt you, and he knows you. He knows what you're gonna give in to. He knows the things that you like to click on Instagram, right? And Facebook and YouTube. So Satan is gonna be there to tempt you. Soon as we get off this call, right? Soon as we get out, you stop watching this video, Satan will tempt you, right? All right, but let's go to the book of First Chronicles chapter 21 and verse 1. First Chronicles 21 and verse 1. And like I said, we still dealing with Lucifer. We're gonna go back to that, but we kind of touching on all these different topics, basically trying to explain Satan, who he is, right? What he does, what is his job, and we're gonna go back into who is Lucifer, you know. And
First
Lucifer
Chronicles.
means light bearer. What you say, bro?
I'm just going to read it.
Okay, good.
It's the book of First Chronicles, chapter 21, verse 1. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel.
Right. So Satan, he stood up against Israel and provoked David. So Satan will provoke you. King David was a mighty man and one that feared God, and he got provoked by Satan. So stop thinking, the Satan. Hey, stop thinking the Satan ain't gonna mess with you, man. Right? We had to put Satan. Right? We had to tell him no. When wicked thoughts arise, when evil spirits come up, right? Just know that that's Satan to try to get you to go off and leave off from the truth. But you can't fall into that thing. You gotta deny that thing.
Right.
Right? You have to deny wickedness, lasciviousness, right? Go to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 11, because we have to deny that thing, man. I think we got a video on the channel calling I think it's called Deny Wickedness or something like that. You got it, King.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Right? So we're not ignorant of his devices. Satan has devices that will try to get you to go off. Now they they call the cell phones a device.
Hmm.
They call it a device, man. This thing can lead you right or it can lead you left, man. Yeah, we can get on here and watch YouTube, watch the truth, read your Bible on there, but then hey, you can go left. You can open your Amazon app tonight and buy something on the Sabbath right now from your phone and break the commandments of God with your fingertips.
Yeah.
With your fingertips. Now it's not Satan. They have made it easy for you to break the commandments of God, man, and to go against your heavenly Father. Now, hey, you can literally go log into porn right now while listening to the class. at the same time. You know, now they got all kind of devices where you can have 2 pages opened at one time,
Damn.
right? Hey, Satan is on a higher level right now, man. He is on fire right now for the Lord. You know, and
Hey,
you
what
don't see. Well, go ahead, King.
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize, but hey, what's that little booty? Hey, I'm kind of hot right now. You
Right,
know,
right, right,
not trying to call little booty say no, but I'm just saying that song. That's Satan. That's Lucifer, man. He kind of hot right now, man.
right.
You know, he got every damn wicked thing that you can imagine on the internet, like you said, at the tip of your fingers. So he doing all the Lord's work, all the evil work the Lord had to do. He doing it, man. Creating all these different devices, all these different streams and stuff that you can, get into. It don't take much. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to walk into it no more. You can do it from your home. It's crazy, bro.
Right. You can do it from your house. Right. It's easy now. Our forefathers, they didn't have, these phones and stuff like that, and they were much more on a higher spiritual level than we are. Now we just a bunch of weak men trying our best to make it to the kingdom. Let me get the book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse number 12. Now we're gonna kind of get into who Babylon is, right? We're gonna kind of get into who Babylon is. So we dealt with the spiritual demon Satan, and Lord's will, we come out with more classes like this to go even further in depth, give more precepts on how Satan operates, what he's here for, and what is his ultimate goal.
This is the book of Revelation, 12, verse 12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
So the devil, he come down to you, right, with great wrath, and that he had but a short time. Now this devil, this is talking about Esau, man, because it said in Second Esdras, I think it's what 6 and 9. Jacob is the beginning of the world. No, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it. Follow it. Satan, right? These devils, they know they have but a short time dealing with the Caucasian and Esau. They know, but they have a short time. They watching their kingdom fall every day on the news. Watching their kingdom fall every day when they elect a new candidate. When Sleepy Joe fall asleep in the middle of a conversation. When Sleepy Joe fall down the stairs, that's Babylon falling right there in itself.
God.
So Sleepy Joe, he's the representation of how Babylon is gonna fall. They're gonna get sleepy. They not like their forefathers used to be, you know. And then guess what? They'll fall asleep, and guess what? The Lord gonna come in like a thief in the night.
That's right.
Get the book Revelation chapter 17.
Say that again.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse number 1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
So the judgment of the great whore, we're gonna find out who this whore is, right? She sit upon many waters. Keep reading.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
So with the wine of her fornication, and we're gonna go ahead and make it plain. Hey, this is America, right? This is America that the Bible is speaking of. This is the who the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Everybody commits fornication with Babylon, with America, because this is the number one country, right,
the number one country that's set up, just like Egypt was set up, to go against the Heavenly Father and to be destroyed. Keep reading.
Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Right, and going back to the 7 heads and 10 horns, those are the European unions, right? That's what it's talking about. All right, keep reading. But that's for another lesson. We're not going to go all the way. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots, and abomination of the earth.
So this written, Mystery Babylon, right? Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So this is the mystery Babylon that we're living in now, which is America. Babylon means confusion, right? This is the land of confusion, all right? And it's a mystery. So first you think, the reason why it's a mystery, right, is because like you never can figure America out. So-called black man think America trying to help you. Then you look up some things on YouTube or Google, you like, nah, damn, they've been destroying our people. You know, you think America's trying to do something for you, right? Every 4 years they talk about what they're gonna do for the people. Then boom, next thing you know, they don't do a damn thing. It's a mystery here, man. Boom, they say in God we trust, and then they legalize homosexuality. It's a mystery. You can't figure Babylon out, man. You can't figure this lady out. She's a mystery. And she likes to play games. This is an actual.
Still there, King?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Mystery Babylon, like I said. And she's a whore. She likes to play games. So he read in the verse, that was verse 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's skip down to verse number 15.
Book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 15.
Start at 14, I'm sorry.
Verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them.
So the lamb is talking about Yahweh Shah, right? It's not an actual lamb with sheep wool with a split hoof. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the lamb being Yahweh Shah, you know. And it says they're gonna make war with Yahweh Shah, and the lamb shall overcome them. Meaning they're gonna, in World War III, everybody's gonna stop fighting each other to turn and fight the Lord, and the Lord is gonna overcome them. Just like in Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 16, he said, I will invade them with my troops. So the Lord is coming to invade all these different lands, and specifically Babylon the Great, right? And to destroy it. Keep reading.
For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Those were the 144. Hey, that's right next to the Lord. That's called and chosen and faithful. Right? But go 15.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right? So it says unto me, the waters which thou sawest, right? Just like it say in verse 1, the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So these were nations. So America, she sits on many nations, right? She sits upon many waters. You have different, this is like the melting pot here. Nowhere else on earth do they have more of a mixture of people than Babylon the Great, than America. Everybody's fleeing here, right? That's why Lucifer, right, being the light bearer, right? She is the light bearer because guess what? You got people swimming over here trying to get to America. You got people flying over here on planes, right, trying to get to America. People falling off of planes trying to get here.
Okay.
Right? Can you read it?
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, which the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
So these 10 horns, these are the European Union that's going, these are the EU, rather, right? And these 10, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The whore is America, right? The whore branched off from these different nations and became her own great nation, right? America, this is the one of the youngest lands, right? They declared that this was America in 1776, right? But it says these shall hate the and shall make her desolate and naked, meaning they're gonna expose her, right? They're gonna make her desolate and naked. Everybody gonna realize what America is doing. That America is nothing but full of crap. And it says, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Those are the nuclear missiles that will come here to America when everybody decides to hate her, you know, and everybody is going to turn on America and burn her with fire. These are prophecies that's written in the Bible that you can't erase. These are prophecies that's written in the Bible that you cannot hate to read because these things will happen. You might have some people like, why is he going into America? Why he got to say America gonna be the? Well, the Lord said that thing, man.
That's right.
And we doing the Lord's work, so we have to bring these things out. You know, just like hey, Satan on fire, we got to be on fire for the Lord too. We got to bring out these things and show our people, hey, guess what? America will be burned with fire. Right? Can you read?
Verse 17, for God had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled.
And God put that in their heart, right? Guess who he sent out? You think the Most High got off his throne to do that? No, he sent Satan. So Satan, hey, they put in his heart, hey, God put in their heart to fulfill his will, just like he hardened Pharaoh's heart. Right? Stop thinking the Most High get off his throne to do things, man. The Lord don't have to get off his throne for nothing. The Lord has man to do his work. The Lord has the spiritual demon Satan to do his work. The Lord has the angels to do his work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we can't stop thinking that. Can you read it?
Verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Which reign over the kings of the earth. Right now, America, Babylon the Great, is reigning over the kings of the earth. That's why I tell you in Job chapter 9 and verse 24, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The earth is given into her hand. Right? So if you see who is clearly running this earth and ruling over it, you see who the wicked is, man. You see who the spiritual demon Satan is making himself manifest in.
It's even crazy when you see that, or that when you read Job 9 and 24, it say the earth given to the hand of the wicked. The wicked be mad because the world that they live in or rule is wicked. They be confused. They be protesting about wickedness that they create. That's crazy.
That's right, brother. That's why I say mystery Babylon. That's right, brother. That's right.
Like you make all these weapons and then get mad when somebody uses them.
Right. Right. All right, let's go to the book hop over to the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 1.
All right. Book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Mm-hmm.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxing rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Right, right. Because America, she has delicacies, right? And this will be the habitation of devils, man, of evil spirits. And the fowls, they will be over here, right? Eating all of the abominations of the earth, right? Eating the so-called white man's flesh, eating Caucasian's flesh, and the 2/3, right? If they decide to be joined until they're hand in hand with the enemy, you know. But it says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath, of the wrath of her fornication," meaning they drunk the wine, right? Her philosophies and their doctrine. They drinking it whole. People love wine, man. People love that little feeling when they get when they drink wine. They love the feeling they get when they drink of Babylon. You know, you can celebrate your birthday here. You can wear what you want here. You can go to the beach and be naked and then look normal here. These things, hey, the Lord has to burn this place up. The Lord gonna burn the damn sand off the beach, man.
All right.
God.
The Lord gonna burn the place up, man, because this place is a mystery and hey, it's sick. Here
That's
they
right.
are. They see it's a mystery. You can walk naked at the beach. You can be naked at the beach, and then guess what? If you naked in public, then that's a fornicate. That's abomination, right? Have a shoes and shirt on. That's another mystery, man.
Come on, man. If I may say this, brother, I
Go ahead,
want,
Q.
yes, sir. I wanted to say, you know, in Christians, they love this damn place, man. They love the confusion. They love the abomination of this place because they can do what they want to do. You know, they can pretend to love God and they can pretend to serve God and still do all the wickedness that Esau allowed them to do. You know, so yeah, this Babylon the Great, man. This place gotta fall, man. And it seems like the Lord allowed some of these people to be confused, have all these strong delusions on them. Because how the hell you gonna serve the Lord and worship yourself on your birthday at the same time? It can't happen, man.
Right, right. That's right. And the brother bringing that out, worshiping your birth or celebrating your birthday. Oh yeah, we'll say worshiping your birthday. That's actually the number one thing to do in the Satanic Bible. Celebrate the day of oneself. So we shouldn't be celebrating our birthdays, right?
Right.
That's making yourself a god. Don't you say, "Hey, today my day. I'm gonna do what I want." Right? And how about what the Lord wants, man? Stop setting days apart for yourself and set days apart for the Lord, man. He
Right.
already had days set apart, the Sabbath, right? His high holy days, man. These things are already set apart. Any other day is just a normal day. And when your birthday roll around, hey, don't do that thing, man. Just like the story of Job was reading, hey, Satan came down, hey, he tempted Job, well, he tempted his whole family, you know, tempted Job, and guess what? His whole family got destroyed for doing that thing, man.
Gone.
It wasn't even Job that was doing it. But let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 137 and verse 7. Psalms chapter 137 and verse number 7. So this is Babylon the Great we're talking about, right? These are the children of Eve, right? Who runs Babylon the Great, the land of confusion, the mother of harlots, right? So let's keep reading. Let's read on that.
This is the book of Psalms 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of
Just like in
Babylon.
70 AD, they destroyed. Just like in 70 AD, they destroyed Jerusalem, man. You know, they destroyed that thing. They said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. Set that thing on fire, man. That's what they say. Right? Keep reading.
O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed.
What is Edom?
O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
You read verse 9.
Verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones.
Right. So it says in verse 8. Well, I start at verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. When they destroyed Jerusalem, right, in 70 AD, when they destroyed us in 1619, 1492, when they destroyed Jerusalem, the people, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, right? And it says in verse 8, O daughter of Babylon. So Edom is the daughter of Babylon. That is who Babylon is, right? Who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. And they serve us with witchcraft and fornication. They serve us with a smack, with spit on our face and a slap on our back, right? They serve us at work, man. You know, serving you nothing but hard work,
In damn
unreachable
catfish.
hours. What'd you say, brother?
I said they serve it with hard bondage and damn catfish, man.
That's true. That's right. And damn pork. That's right. I was telling the brothers yesterday, man, that you know, we didn't really eat pork as a nation. The righteous of our people. They brought us over here. One of the first things they give us is pork. They served us, man. They served us all this hard rigor and bondage, man. They served that to us. But the Lord said they got to be served that thing back. Because the Lord our God is a just God, man. All right. Now let's go back. Go ahead, King.
I'm sorry, brother. Apologize, fam. I just want to bring up this one scenario. With this one situation, and just like Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they served us, man. They destroyed that place. You know, they raised it. You know, they raised it. Just like he said. He says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem." You know, Jerusalem at that time, you know, here in America we consider Black Wall Street. I mean, of course, we was everywhere, but you know, we think about the commerce we had our own thing, going on. Esau got jealous, and he said, "Raise it and raise it, even to the foundation thereof." And they bombed Black Wall Street to the ground. The first time in history in America they destroyed one of their own lands. You know, so yeah, they served us well, man, and we pray that the Lord served them like they served us.
Right.
All right. That's right. Let's go to I said Lucifer. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. Isaiah 14 and verse 12. Now we're gonna go back into Lucifer and kind of break this down now that we understand that we have a little understanding on, you know, what heaven and hell is, right? We have understanding on who Satan is. So now we're gonna kind of go back and break it down, right? But let's get verse 1 for the context first.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And they're gonna cleave to the house of Jacob, man. Now let's go to verse 12, because the Lord gonna have mercy upon Jacob, right? And he's gonna set the strangers with us, right? And they're gonna cleave to us, but we're gonna be ruling in the kingdom of heaven if it be the Lord's will, man. You know, go to verse 12.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Now, Lucifer, we went over that earlier. It means light bearer. Lucifer is the light bearer, right? Because this, like I said, this is the land where people swim to get here. Where people will take a little boat that you see people pulling around on their pickup trucks to get over here, right? They're not coming over here on yachts and big ships and cruise boats. They swimming over here on with a paddle on a. You see people coming over here on a damn on a surfboard, man, trying to get over here. All right. So this is the light bearer, meaning they have the light. They're the light for the whole world right now. Everybody looks to America for philosophies on ways to live, on how to operate as a society. Everybody's looking at America. They're the actual light. Everybody's watching this place. Just like you have a light in a dark room, you see that light before you see anything else. You know? So America is that light. They're the light bearer right now. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Or no, Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 9. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 9. We got our place in Isaiah and go to Proverbs 13 and verse 9.
The book of Proverbs chapter 13 verse 9. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out.
So the light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. Meaning the wicked can be a lamp too. Wicked could be a light. The Lord said that Satan has transformed himself into an angel of light. You know, so he transformed himself into an angel of light. So Lucifer, meaning light bearer, that just literally means he's the light, the son of the morning, how thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. Right. So we back in Isaiah 14 and 12, it said he weakened the nations. So Esau, Edom, they're the people who weaken the nations, sending homosexuality in different countries, trying to get them to agree with their philosophies and their what's the other word they call it? Start with a C. Right, we're trying to get them. You know, if they don't agree with America, then guess what? America going to destroy that place. They send in diseases. You don't agree with them, they send in their army, their troops, right? And they're gonna make you agree with them, you know. But this is the type of thing that America does. They weaken the nations. You got damn Arabs coming over here with damn Docker shorts on and a damn polo hat now. But he's supposed to be wearing his ancient garments with turbans tied around his head, but he get caught over here in this wine and this wrath that Babylon is giving him. You got a Chinese man saying that they're Chinese American now. I'm American, right? Well, your people probably hate you for saying that thing. You know, the real Chinese people, hey, they over there with their ancient garments, eating dogs and cats, doing God knows what. But you over here eating damn pork belly and damn chicken wings.
All right.
You know, so you're not keeping the customs of your actual people. So that's how they weaken the nations. They weaken them through their philosophies and their doctrines. You reading them verse 13.
Hey, I just want to say, the dentist I used to go to, she was East Indian, and she had actually started closing her business down and had her family, the whole family, East Indian, but they celebrating Thanksgiving over here.
Right. Right. That's right.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy. That's played, man.
That's right.
Just to follow American doctrine, you know, American religion. Man. That's crazy, man. And I was about to say too, you know, you expect Satan to be in the light, Lucifer being the light of the world. That's what it means, the light, right? If you can, brother can go to Wikipedia. I mean, it's rough. I was just trying to show
you. Do your thing, brother. Do your thing, King.
Okay. If you go to Wikipedia and you put up Statue of Liberty, right, and you stroll up on the page, you're gonna see where it says the enlightened, the Statue of Liberty, the enlightened. You know, so the statue actually means the enlightened. Then you know that every nation, America, the Statue of Liberty represents the light. So, which America, like you said, Babylon is the light.
Brother Ananias.
Yes, sir.
Can you pull it up for me, brother? Computer right now.
I couldn't even hear what
you
he was saying.
Okay, the brother was saying, correct me if I'm wrong, brother. You can type in Statue of Liberty on Wikipedia, and it's going to show you that they're the light.
Right, right. Yeah, if you put it up on Wikipedia, you're gonna say the enlightened, the enlightened. Excuse me. And
The enlightened.
yes, sir.
Okay, that's right. That's right, brother. And then they are that light. That's actually what a lot of foreigners see when they come in. That Statue of Liberty with that flame that never goes out. They are the light bearer. Right. And that's actually a representation of that. And I'm glad you brought that up.
And you know, all the nations, they used to come to the New York harbor anytime, you know, they was traveling the sea, traveling the Atlantic. They got lost. They seen that big light in the midst of the fog. It was real foggy or whatever in the sea. They'll see that big light and they knew it's the Statue of Liberty, and they'll come into it, you know.
Right.
So, you know, it's just like when you see it, the definition right there. It was right above, excuse me, right above the picture. It says enlighten to the world. Excuse me, I forgot what it said directly, but yeah, that's what it says right there. Enlighten the world. You know, so that right there, that's showing you that they telling you that they're Lucifer.
Right. That's right. Let me see. Oh, that's right. Right there. It says Statue of Liberty, enlightening
The world.
Man, that's plain. And I'm glad you brought that out, King. Enlightening the world. Right? The whole world. They didn't just say one continent at a time or trying to reach out to different cities at a time. They said enlightening the whole world. They already know that thing. Everybody knows that. All right. So let's go back to Isaiah 14 and verse 1. Right? Isaiah 14 and 1, verse 1, and we're going to read that through.
The book of Isaiah.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
For verse 12, I'm sorry, brother.
Okay.
All right, let's get
Isaiah
verse 12.
14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? But thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High.
And now they say, I will be like the Most High. So Lucifer, this is actually talking about the so-called white man, but we're going to keep reading that and we're going to find out, right? But it says, I will be like the Most High. Now they're like the Most High by having Google. You know, they have, anybody want to find any kind of information out, they go to Google. They don't search for the Most High first. They go to Google and they try to find out different things and see what Google says. And if Google says it, then it's stamped. They don't have to really even do any research for real. Right. You know, we all know we have friends like that at work. They Google one thing and say, oh, yep, that's what it is. You know, so Google is their God, you know, but that so-called white man, he owns Google. And now he has where he can see. He has different he got the Google Maps now. He knows where you live. He knows your address. He knows everything about you. He hears you on your phones. He's listening to the call right now.
That's right.
He has your Wi-Fi. He gives you bars. He gives you signal. Now he is trying to sit in the throne of the Lord. Can you read it?
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Right. So, the Lord said they're going to be brought down to hell, right? To the sides of the pit. I'm going to get a precept on that too. Keep reading.
Verse 16. That they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms?
Right.
Right.
So let me get that's right. Hold that real quick and then give me Psalms chapter 9 and verse 17. Right? Hold that real quick and get Psalms chapter 9 and verse 17. Because the Lord said, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Right? And we understand where hell is, right? So Lucifer, right, he got cast down, fallen from heaven, fallen from a high estate, fallen from a good condition, fallen from rulership, and he weakened the nations. So this is a prophecy that hasn't happened yet. Just like in Isaiah 14 and verse 1 and 2, that's a prophecy that hasn't happened yet. So Lucifer, who is the light bearer, which is America, they're gonna fall. Right? Read what you got in Psalms.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 17. The wicked shall be thrown to hell, and all the nations
Right.
forget God.
That's right. It said the wicked shall be turned to hell, meaning the wicked shall be turned from a higher state to a lower state. They will go from rulership to being servants on the earth. You know. Now let's go back to Isaiah, wherever you left off.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of its prisoners.
And they don't open the house of the prisoners, because guess what? Now they have, okay, even though we're not supposed to be smoking weed and different things of that nature, weed is pretty much legal now. But they don't even open the house of the prisoners. A lot of those brothers in there, they're locked up due to those weed charges, right? And marijuana charges, you know. So they're locked up to that. And they don't release the prisoners, meaning they don't tell us who we are. They still have us over here in bondage, man. We're still over here not knowing who we are, following the ways of America, and just continuing on in darkness, right? As a prisoner. Keep reading.
Verse 18. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house.
And speaking about the prisoners again, right? When people get out of prison, a lot of times they don't have windows in the prison house. You know, they get out of prison years later. Now they looking around like, man, the world really changed, man. You know, they kind of come to reality of what's going on, still trying to figure it out. Hey, we woke up to this truth. We still trying to figure this thing out, man.
All right.
Constantly studying every day, still finding new precepts, still finding new understanding, right? So hey, the Lord released us out of prison. Hey, and Lord's will, we don't have to go back in that thing.
That's right.
You read it?
Verse 19. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet.
As a carcass trodden underfoot, read.
Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
Shall never be renowned. The seed of evildoers. Keep reading.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
And I missed a big point. And let's go back to verse 16, and then we're gonna go to the book of Job, chapter 24. Right? The book of Job, chapter 24. But go back to verse 16.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms?
So is this the man? Right? That's how you know Lucifer is a man. Lucifer is a man. It's not the spiritual demon Satan that got cast down from heaven, and now he is the Titans that's under the earth, and he has a sword and chains and ready to come out at the end of the world. That's not what's going on here, right? It says, is this the man that did make the earth to tremble, that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? They didn't go around shaking kingdoms, man. They bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the world was at awe, you know. But let's go to the book of Job, chapter 24.
The book of
Job
Job,
chapter 24 and verse 1.
chapter 24, verse 1. Why? Seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty. Do they that know him not see his days? Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof.
So now this is going into the so-called white man. It's talking about him. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. I just wanted to get the context. Now we're going to jump down to verse 17, right? And we're going to read that all the way through.
Verse 17. For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. Even one knows them. They are in the terrors of the shadows of death. He is swift as the waters.
Hey, brother, I might have to let Ananias read this one, and then I'm gonna let you get the next one. Your phone kind of breaking up a little bit, brother. I can barely hear you. Brother, read verse 17 for me, and hey, I appreciate that, King. Brother Yakub.
Yes, sir.
The book of Job, chapter 24, verse 17. For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. Even one know them. Excuse me. They are in the terrors of the shadow of death. He is as swift as the water. Their portion is cursed in the earth. He beholdeth not the way of the vineyards.
Now he is cursed in the earth. That's just like Cain. He got cursed in the earth. That's actually going into Esau as well, right? Cursed from the earth. Why you think they got to make GMO foods? Why you think they never they have to always come up with wicked devices, right? Because they curse from the earth. Why do you think they have no melanin? They got cursed from the earth. The Lord made us out of the earth, so He cursed them from the earth, right? You read.
Verse 19. Drought and heat consume the snow waters, so doeth the grave those which have sinned. The womb shall forget him, the worm shall feed sweetly on him. He shall be no more remembered, and wickedness shall be broken as a tree.
Just like it states in Obadiah 1 and verse 8, that Esau will be cut off forever. So it says, the womb shall forget him, meaning he ain't going to be born no more. He is not going to be regenerated back in the kingdom. It says, the worm shall feed sweetly on him. He shall no more be remembered, and wickedness shall be broken as a tree. And just like a tornado come through, right? A hurricane come through, these trees get broken down. The Lord going to come through with like a mighty whirlwind, right? Come back with his chariots and fire like a whirlwind, right? Can you read?
Verse 21. He evil entreateth the barren that beareth not, and doeth not good to the widow. He draweth out.
He evil entreated the barren that beareth not. Meaning the people who didn't have babies, he evil entreated them. He cut the babies out of their stomach, made them to miscarry, right? Forced them to miscarry after he raped them. You know? Can you read?
Verse 22. He draweth also the mighty with his power. He riseth up, and no man is sure of his life.
And no man is sure of life. That's a curse that we wouldn't be even sure of our life. We don't even know when we're gonna die. You get pulled over by the police, you think you're gonna die. You might get shot. Can you read?
Verse 23. Though it be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways.
Hey, and the Lord said, though it be given him to be in safety, it's given Esau to be in safety. This is why he can run down your neighborhood at 5 a.m. and not worry about anything. You know, so he's in safety right now. He don't worry about anything. He just like a damn lost soul walking down the streets talking about la di da di da. You know, can you read it?
Verse 24. They are exalted for a little while, but are gone and brought low. They are taken out of the way as all other, and cut off as the tops of the ears of corn.
So, hey, yeah, they exalted for a little while. That's why the Lord said the devil come with great wrath because he knoweth, but he have but a short time. So they're exalted for a little while, but are brought low. So, hey, just like it said, Lucifer, which is them, who is Edom, right? they're going to be brought low. That's that man that's going to be brought low. Can you read?
Verse 25.
Verse 25.
And if it be not so now, who will make me a liar and make my speech nothing worth?
Hey, who going to make the Lord's words and his speech nothing worth? Right? Give me the book of Luke chapter 10 and verse 17. Right? The book of Luke chapter 10 and verse 17. Brother Yakub, you can read that for me.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 17. And it says, and the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through their name.
And we have to understand that these devils, they're subject to us, right, through the name of the Lord. We command these demons and devils to repent, keep the commandments. We go out there and command the devils to get off our people. We have a brother that's on the line with us, and we call him the demon slayer, man.
Right.
Going out there slaying demons, commanding those demons to come out. And guess what? Them demons flee away, right? You see their whole spirit change in their eyes. You see their whole spirit change in their ways and their mood. You know, the brother out there making demons flee away, right? So we have to understand that these devils are subject unto us through the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. That's why the name is dreadful to the heathen. That's why they don't want us to say that name, man. Right? Keep reading verse 18.
Verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven.
So he said, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. Not that they fought in heaven, but he said, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. Meaning he beheld the so-called, the Edomites falling from heaven, that higher state to a lower state, right? That's what it's going into. So Satan, the so-called white man is the actual physical representation of Satan, you know. But now let's go back to the book of Psalms, Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 9, and I'm gonna probably end it off here. Right? Proverbs in verse 9. And we do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Lord's will, everybody was edified. Hey, if you have questions on tonight's topic, you can email us, right? Just go to our online page, find the email. You know, you can email, ask questions. Because we got to come back to asking questions as people, you know. We can't just keep going along with everything that society try to spit out at us, you know. So let's go to the book of Psalms. No, Proverbs 13 and verse 9.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 9. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out.
Right? The lamp of the wicked, right? Esau, that light bearer, he's going to be put out. We read earlier that the wicked shall be hell, meaning they're going to be turned into captivity, right? That's according to Isaiah, I think it might be 15 and verse number 16 or something like that, right? Where it talk about how we went into captivity, and that was hell, you know. Matter of fact, I got to get that real quick. I got the precept right here. This book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse number 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Now it says, you know, our honorable men, they dried up with thirst, and we going into captivity. Verse 14, it says, therefore, now because of this reason, that's what it's saying. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp that rejoiceth shall descend into it. Meaning hell hath enlarged itself. Captivity got even wider and bigger. Right now, all of our people are going into captivity. Now we are over here as a whole, whether it be the northern kingdom and southern kingdom. Right now, give me the book of Revelation 18 and 21, and it's going to be the last one. Right. So we had to leave off from our wickedness. When Satan comes to tempt you, hey, you gotta turn to the right hand, man. Don't turn to the left hand and agree with Satan. You have to rebuke Satan, because he gonna come and do his job. He gonna try to do his job, but Satan is gonna come at you in every way possible to try to get you to go against the commandments, to try to get you to go back to Sunday church, to try to get you to go back to the ways of the world, to try to have a work boot, to try to have all kind of manner of wickedness going on, to try to have um, damn pornography on your phone. Satan gonna tell you those things are okay. Satan, he gonna talk sweet to you, nice to you. He gonna talk to you how you want to be talked to, right? That's why we go out and cry aloud to our people, right, and spare not their feelings, because the Lord gonna spare not, just like his messengers, they not gonna spare. But Satan, he might spare you, right, and speak sweetly to you. But read what you got, King.
Revelation 17:1,
8, 21,
17 and 8.
18 and 21.
Okay. The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 21. And an almighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
Hey, and thus with violence, shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So Lucifer, right, that light bearer, right, they're going to be thrown down and be found no more at all. And there will be no more standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance. There will be no more standing up at the damn at the World Games, right, trying to pledge to allegiance, or the what they call it,
National anthem.
the national anthem. It won't be no more of that, right? So they're going to be cast down into the sea. It says, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, right? They committed massive violence against our people, massive violence against all nations. So the Lord gonna come and throw that thing down, and it said it shall be found no more at all, right? And with that, Lord's will, you was edified, right? I'm Brother Benaiah.
Brother Ananias.
Brother Yakubu.
Right? And we are A.O.I, and we give all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and we pray that the Lord saves the remnant of our people who are keeping the commandments and having the faith in Yahushua, and the Lord destroy this place, right? That's what we're praying for. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.